How's it going, man?
This meeting is being recorded.
I'm pretty good, man. Can't complain. Just taking it one day at a time. How's everything going?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Um, yeah, man, pretty much the same. I'm going through the process of getting onboarded with this public trust clearance for this new role. So, man, it's a lot more into it than just getting a regular job. So, yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations again, man. Yeah, public trust is, I mean, you're getting your foot in the door when it comes to government work and in the process of getting a clearance. But it's good that they're sponsoring you and yeah, overall, just to kind of circle back to the conversation. We're just gonna have a casual conversation. I'm gonna ask some questions, just to kind of get a sense of like, who you are, your experience in the program, things you liked about it, things you didn't like about it, and really just kind of give a perspective for anybody watching this video. How does that sound?
I'm good.
Cool, cool. So just to give a quick introduction of yourself. It could be 30 seconds, a minute on what you did before, what you do now, and kind of like what your life looks like as a cloud engineer.
Yeah, so before actually got into tech in 2018, I was doing iOS development, being a mobile app developer, worked for some pretty big companies, shipped out some big apps that reached millions of people. But honestly, just kind of got tired of being a developer where it's just constant work. Like no matter what happens, it's like a new bug, a new fix, a new feature. So like I really was looking for something that was like make me move up the chain a little bit more to where I'm not the one like just building all of these different features. So looked in a few different things, looked into the GRC route. But then like the auditing was cool, but I didn't really care too much about it. And then ended up seeing one of your advertisements where you was specifically calling out software engineers. And I was like, okay, this is something that I can see myself doing. Got in the program, and really started to look at the overall picture. And it's something that usually most software engineers don't really learn about, period, until like a little bit later when, you need somebody on the team to do that type of work. But learned about that and I actually like it a lot more. I love just building out systems, building out infrastructure and thinking more like an engineer to build out architectures versus just feature. So yeah, so program was good, definitely gave a great foundation that you can build upon, because this is a great foundation. I feel like the 1% University definitely gave me that to where it was like, okay, I learned about, Kubernetes, and then you can go deeper in that realm. You learned about CI/CD pipelines. You can go deeper in that realm. And there's just all of these different aspects that you ended up giving us that what really is just like a blueprint of a whole road, like a map that you could go in within cloud. So, ended up finding my two pieces within like DevOps and then also just cloud engineering in general. And yeah, learned a lot. Definitely learned a lot.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So, what were you making before as you did say iOS developer, correct?
Right.
And
I was
go ahead.
Yeah, I was developer. I'm not gonna lie, I was making really good money. There was one point, I was making about 25,000 a month. But it was a lot of work.
I was gonna ask, like, what was your day to day back then?
Man, it was so like 4 or 5 meetings a day, because I was overstaffed or overemployed or whatever. So a lot of meetings, and then looking at a lot of documentation on how to build these different things within the iOS realm. So yeah, it was just a lot of work. So I probably would wake up. I'm on the West Coast, and all the companies I work for was on the East Coast. So like waking up at like 5 in the morning to get prepared to start at 6, but not being done until about 7 p.m. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just to get that work done. But it was constant. And, with doing something that's like that for multiple companies, you get burnt out quickly. And I got burnt out maybe 3, 4 years ago, honestly, but I just kept pushing through it. But
Well,
eventually I was like, yeah, I got to do something different.
and based on what you know about cloud and people actually working these jobs in terms of my past self and then also other students, how do you feel like, your life is going to change in terms of you are already making good income, but in terms of like the work-life balance with cloud engineer, how do you feel like that's going to change in terms of stepping into this role and
Yeah,
motivate? Well,
yeah, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a lot of. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot more time, a lot more freedom. Even within like the 8 hour workday, I still feel like I would get a lot of time because it seems like you really just build the infrastructure like one time and then you just constantly just improve it.
yep,
And that's different than building out brand new features with all of these different, you know, limitations that might be there. And then, with software engineering, there's 8 different ways, 100 different ways to get the same solution. So having to learn all of that when it's just like, if you want something secure, these are the steps.
yep.
So I like that type of work versus anything. So I definitely feel like my day, I have a lot more free time, a lot more time to even learn while on the job versus just kind of being in a rush to build everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. What was your process like for trying to break into cloud DevOps before joining us? Did you have a process, like where you were applying to jobs, doing self-study, maybe like free training on YouTube? Like, what did everything look like before you had an actual step-by-step roadmap?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even like I looked into it, looking at like Tech World with Nana, seeing how she broke down a lot of those different topics and stuff like that. And I just wanted to see if that was something that I liked first
Yep.
before I even started to study to see what it actually is. And honestly, from doing that, I just was like, where can I end up like getting more of a roadmap to learn everything
Yep.
versus just kind of going in my own direction. Like I'm self-taught when it comes to iOS development, but I know how long it took for me to even get that first job. So it's just like, how can I skip a year of learning,
Yep.
and just go right into it? Maybe after like 5, 6 months, something like that, versus a whole year, maybe even some change. Because, once you even learn it, it's another skill of learning how to interview.
Yep.
So it's just like, I was just like, let me do what I can to skip past all the stuff like that and get it. So yeah, it wasn't no really. I did self-studying after. Like once you get the foundation, it was like, okay, let me learn about monitoring and observability. What are these different services and stuff like that? So yeah, I kind of did that in congruence with what you was teaching.
Okay. And how did things change once you started implementing what we gave you? Like, can you talk about the correlation between going through our program and actually landing interviews, offers, high paying roles?
Yeah, so one of the things in your program is how simple you break things down to. You know what I'm saying? You break things down very simple. And that's good in multiple ways because it's like, the one thing I learned being in tech is that you deal with a lot of people that aren't technical,
Uh,
right? So like with dealing with people that aren't technical, you have to break things down simple so that they will understand it.
uh,
So with getting that foundation of learning things in a simple form that you do within all of the lessons, it was like, okay, I can be able to grasp that. And then it's like, okay, after that, let me start getting a little more technical now because I know when I do an interview, I'm not talking to non-technical people, I'm talking to technical people. And then you break that down as well. So it's just like, you make it easy to be able to speak to all of these, speak to what's learned in a program and how to be once you start interviewing and talking to people. So, but yeah.
okay. Okay. After going through our system, like instead of just like, um, can you talk about like the experience of recruiters reaching out to you for six-figure opportunities? Like, what do you think was the shift that happened in terms of like people coming to you for six-figure remote opportunities?
Yeah, honestly, um, I would say when it came to learning everything, it's like now positioning myself as, somewhat of but not an expert, but like well, I guess you can say an expert, and then putting that knowledge out. So like I'm active on LinkedIn. So with me like posting on LinkedIn, and then also having the background to actually speak to it in the right way, yeah, when people like reach out to me, they'll say something about something on my profile, versus it's like, oh, you just have the resume that look good but we can see that you know how to actually speak to it. So like that was, but that's something I learned like being in tech before, but I just knew that with this program and how you teach it and how you break it down, like if I can be able to say the same thing in a similar way and then put that out there, it'll bring back a lot of opportunities. But yeah,
Okay.
just even having the resume out there, I've, you know, been reached out to a lot. It's just now finding what opportunities actually make sense for what I want to do. So
Okay. So you feel like you have like more left,
true.
more control. Okay. Nice. And so what surprised you the most about like working with us? What was one thing you didn't expect when you joined the program?
Well, I'm kind of going through that now with what you were saying with like the levels, like how you do the freshman, sophomore, and junior, senior year. So like now learning a little bit more about, the junior year. I'm not gonna. I know you recording, so like I'm not trying to have put that out there yet, but like learning what to do once you start to make that way, you can then leverage the knowledge of doing cloud engineering, getting a job, and making this high income to be able to leverage that to freedom, like real financial freedom, where you making a lot more money, where literally you're choosing to have a job versus you have to work. So that was the biggest thing, because a lot of boot camps, they'll just say learn it. A lot of them don't even break down interviews.
Yeah.
So you broke down interviews, you have a lot of them recorded. Um, so yeah, so just seeing that you got a full process of beginner, getting a job, and then once you get the job, how to actually operate on that job, and then what to do when that money start coming in. So
And so do you feel like you can actually obtain financial freedom based off of where you are now in the program and then also junior year, um, knowing what you know now, even though you're not there yet, but just seeing everything we have to offer, do you really believe you can actually attain that for yourself? And if,
yeah, definitely.
and why is that?
I will honestly say it was my mindset going into it. One of the things that I got into tech to get to financial freedom. So like I've been mapping and planning for the longest. It was just finding the job that gave me that freedom, that work life balance. Once I got that, it was like, okay, I can go through my work day, but still have the mental, um, like I didn't drain my mind every single day for this job. Now with this, it's like, okay, build out the infrastructure, automated. Cool. I didn't really have to drain. I'm not in a draining job. So it's like, okay, now let me focus on what I'm gonna do with real estate, what I'm gonna do with all these other aspects. So but what you were saying is like, okay, here's another path, and I'm gonna break this down simple like I did cloud. So it's okay. I got nothing but respect for that aspect. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah.
Yep. Like literally, I just try to make it as simple as possible. Like a fifth grader can go through the 1% university and acquire wealth. So it's really just up to you if you want to like tap into it. It's like optional in terms of like after the cloud engineer program. Uh, but no, it seems like you so far you're taking it serious. So I have no doubt that you'll do just fine, just like the cloud engineer program.
Yeah. I got a few more interviews coming up. So we're gonna see.
Sheesh. Okay. So how much time are you putting in each week now compared to before? So I know you're not in the job yet. So you really wouldn't know that, but um, how do you feel like your life is about to change, knowing what you know from like other students that's gotten jobs, their time commitment when they're working in cloud? How do you feel like your life is about to change in terms of your ability to like balance work, family, or just like free time, like that work-life balance?
Yeah, it's really more time. More time. The more that I've learned through life experiences, reading books and stuff like that, the more I learned that it's all about time.
Yep.
That's literally it. Like this is all time. You make money to buy time, and that's it. So it's just like with doing this, like I said, not having to have that mental strain and be burnt out in the job, even though you're making a lot of money. Just being able to spend more time to, spend time with family, spend time investing, making way more money, and then definitely travel. So, I, that's really it for me. Spending time, making money, spending time with family, and then being able to travel. So I felt like that's really about to open up for sure.
Yep. I was the same way. Okay. Yeah, because literally I was working like 10 I was making $21 an hour as an IT technician, slaving away and on site driving. It was insane. But then being able to learn cloud and then transition from like now I have a lot more of my time. I work remote, and there's a lot of it's a lot of flexibility for me to travel and spend time with like my actual family. So it
Yeah.
was night and day shift, and I think that's like one of the most like the money is good, but you can't buy back. You can't go back in time. Like you can always make more money, but you cannot go ahead.
Yeah, I said money comes and goes. But that
Time,
okay.
yeah, yeah, okay. And so, um, knowing you, I know you most likely could have done this on your own because of you know how you are, but I'll still ask the question, like, do you think you could have done this on your own, or do you feel like any other program could have gotten you to this level in terms of the curriculum, the coaching, accountability, support? Can you kind of compare that, like, in terms of what we have to offer as opposed to anything else out there?
Yeah, so I definitely could have learned it on my own. It's just the time, how long it would have like took for me to get here.
Okay.
Because one thing is like I always take things very serious when I start. So it's just like I know I would have done it, but like I said, my thing was like we're talking about time. How can I get here faster from somebody that's actually already doing it so I can skip and bypass all of the, going down a rabbit hole? Cause like, for instance, you learn Kubernetes, you can go down a full rabbit hole with that, where that could be a year in itself. So
Hmm.
it's like, but what would have lost doing that for the year?
The opportunity because in terms of the money you could have been making at the job. Like, let's just say, this job you're making 8,000 a month. And it took you an extra 12 months. And this is what exactly happened to me. I ended up paying, I think it was $83,000 because I wanted to like, figure it out on my own. And I wasted a bunch of time and energy in things that didn't matter when all I needed to do was X, Y, and Z. It took me 2 months to get a job after I joined a program. And so, yeah, it's like like once again, like you said, the time, but more importantly, like it's time, opportunity cost, money that could have been in my bank account,
Yeah.
stress, like things I didn't need to go through. But it's like, yeah, even I know you could have done it by yourself. It's like you said, it's really just that time and like be more effective towards getting what you
Yeah, getting to that goal faster because really, once you get on the job, like a lot of times you can learn on the, well, more damn near every job you're gonna get in tech, you're gonna learn on the job. It's all everybody using some different type of tech stack, so you're gonna learn on the job. So it's just like, how can I get to the job faster?
want. Hmm.
I'll learn everything from there. So yeah,
Okay.
you know what it's been like 4 or 5 months maybe.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
And I could have had something before, but they wasn't trying to like come up on the money so much so that they ended up hiring somebody for a much cheaper price. So
Yeah. I think we're trying to pay you like what, like 90,000? Those are on 90.
yeah, yeah, and I tried to get them up to at least 110. I would have been okay with 110. I know how to leverage that. So it was just like, but yeah, but it is what it is. I
Okay.
found a better opportunity.
Yep. And so based on the results you've seen so far, where do you see yourself in 6 to 12 months from now, both career wise and financially?
Career wise, I would say I'll be at senior level, like for sure. Um, yeah, senior level, you know, making a lot of decisions, that type of stuff. What comes with being a senior level person. So
Yeah.
that, and as far as like any other things, um, probably buying my second dream car. Second, okay, yeah, my second dream car. I bought my first one with my with what I did already. So it's just like doing that, investing more, owning real estate, and really like I already got a system set up. It's just like I just got that need that cash injection. Once that cash injection hit, it's an oil machine. So yeah, man. 6 to 12 months. Yeah, I would definitely say at least a half a million, at least,
Okay.
and that's bare minimum. Like at least that probably be within the next 3 4 months, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, everybody good. Everything's time good.
Do you, in terms of like the 1% university, how do you feel like we've helped you being able to get to that goal in 6 to 12 months in terms of like the half a mil?
Well, honestly, the way, like I said, the program, you laid everything out in a simple way. you and you actually showed what a day in the life of this actual position is. Because, it's a lot of content out there that doesn't really show that, and they try to make it seem what it's not and all of that, but you broke everything down in a simple way. So it's like we know what to expect when we go into these roles. And that's a major thing because, people sell when people have courses and boot camps, they sell a dream. And a lot of times you get into it and it's stressful. We have much to get to that end goal, but you've actually shown the whole process. And like, if a role is, like you said, I don't, this might be for the public and I don't want nobody to see this, but it might think something else, but you it was like, if a job as you work in this amount of hours, leave. So it's like, and it's like that amount of hours, even though that's not a lot, but it's like, okay, that means that there's something that's different with that company that you might have to look out for. That so it's just like learning that type of stuff. Like I say, everything you put out there was, black and white. It's like people can take what they want from it, but I took what you was actually saying and like, it was if I honestly I think you gave everything anybody that wants to become a cloud engineer would need. You know,
Okay.
even if they don't have a tech background, because I know you got people in there that don't have tech background. So I know if they're able to get it, yeah, it's like, yeah, this is gonna be perfect for them. And getting in tech, I remember going from being a truck driver, working 70 hours a week, to then get my check from tech. And I said, I worked half the time and got all of this money, and I ain't know what to do. For like the first 6 months, I was wilding, but but hey, it's the good feeling. It's something to celebrate.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on something you said before. Um, there is a lot of things out there online, and people really just try to sell you a dream. Like they say all these claims, and honestly, they're really just trying to take your money. From your experience with the things that I've personally said online, and to be honest with you, I am saying something crazy. $500,000 a year? No. Um, it sounds like a dream, and it really does. But based off of everything that you've gone through the program, you understand how things works, you understand my system, you've experienced, the whole process of getting a job, even recruiters reaching out to you for more jobs. Do you believe like I am selling like you a dream or I sold you a dream? Do you think it's like I'm not authentic? Like, what's your full experience from like seeing me online, hearing me what I say online, and then actually getting into the program and then now being a success student? Do you think it's like authentic or do you think it's like I'm selling a dream?
Yeah, I would say it's authentic, um, because you show different levels of students that come through the program. But of course, when people see that, they might think that they're at a level that they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, Greg is one of the main examples. He came in 2 months, but then you go and look at Greg's background, it's like, oh, this dude he, who wouldn't want to hire him for any company?
Hmm.
It's just like, okay, so if somebody see that, it's like, hold on, that might not be your experience.
Yep.
And more than likely it's not.
Yep.
If you coming in like with, that's coming in like watching the video and you think 500,000 is crazy. You think 500,000 is crazy and you see Greg's testimonials, not that, but you also show, you know, I don't like to put people's names out there too much, but people like that came in that didn't have no experience, but then they was able to go and make 130, 110, and now they looking to make 150, 160. So it's like, yeah, like if you see that, I think I think you cover a good range when it comes to testimonials and the things that you speak on. But if people think anything like this is crazy, like,
It's people making more.
man, yeah. Yeah, I remember the first time I met somebody that was making $800,000 from one job, and I said, it's like what? And it was just like, and he told me there's people that make more,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was just from one job. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, honestly, I think that you cover everybody. your content is good, you know what I'm saying, and you're honest with what's going on. But if people always gonna doubt when you're doing good. So
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do with that, but like my job is to really just to show people this stuff exists. It is a commitment. It's not going to be a get rich quick scheme. Not gonna work. Like as you know, you put in work to actually achieve the results you want. But like the realest thing is like, and when I personally talk to anybody that's interested, it's like this is this person, this is this person. At the end of the day, I'm not saying you're going to get the same results. I have no idea. You were not, to be honest. I don't know how serious you are with it. I don't know how much time you're going to put into it. The only thing I just say is realistically, everybody that's achieved result, they just took this serious and followed the step-by-step blueprint. I would say everybody that's done the blueprint that's not been successful. It's just like this person is not different from you. Like if he can do it, what's the difference? Um, for example, and what I told people is like, yeah, Greg, you know, 2.5 months, 5 offer letters, and he's the best student. His background definitely helped him in terms of getting interviews. But even before he met me, he had the same experience, but he could not make $500,000.
right.
It was him taking this program serious and following the blueprint to now getting that end result. But it was 90% of everything, his results was just taking it serious and following the blueprint. That's what he said on one of the coaching Sunday calls. And so I tell people like honestly, this is like a crazy dream. Like I still don't believe something like this exists. It doesn't make sense how you can make so much money and not work as much because I came from a background where I'm working so much and I'm getting hit pennies. And so it's just like it really is like you get what you put in. Um, but it's just like you really do have to put in the work. It's it's not hard, as you know, the way that I teach, I break it down. Um, and I wanted to segue into a question. Do you really believe a fifth grader can actually go through this program and still be successful? Like in terms of the way that I teach it and break it down?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's simple enough that you can grasp it. It's so many different examples of cloud in like literally in the world that you can choose from. So it's just like, yeah, and that's kind of what I've been doing. Like you always talk about, you learn by teaching,
Mhm.
and I'm actually about to start getting them posting more content on LinkedIn and actual showing my face in projects to kind of get that mastery even more.
Yep.
But also it's a way to leverage my interviews because a lot of times I feel like if you got projects up and you can show it and walk through it, the interview is no longer about you trying to prove that you know something when you already done that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do this to skip steps in the interview process. But yeah, you can, fifth grader can definitely learn this. Oh, and also one thing I'll say too with other programs, so I've, watched social media. I've looked at a lot of different people's stuff, and I always associate people with other people. And there's some people that have programs out there that are attached to some people that have scam people. And I noticed that you're not around them, so it was just like, okay, let's see what they. I'm going to get it. I'm gonna give this a shot. So that was a major part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel like I scammed you?
Oh no, 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 no. I'm saying it's pure.
I know. I'm just playing. It's just another separate question. It was a rhetorical question, obviously, because you got the results. But do you feel like the investment was worth it?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. The return on this is way more. Like it's way more. Now I don't know what the prices may be in a couple months, but like even still, like the return is crazy. It's still that amount of money. It makes six. Like let's just say you just got a job in this and you're making six figures. You know what I mean? Like the investment is better. You good. Just a skill you can be able to do for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Nah.
And so like I always preach like I'm not teaching you how to get a job. I'm teaching you the skill. And
Right.
so let's just say you paid a certain amount. Let's just say two, three, like you got your money back and now you're starting to get an ROI, return on investment. 6 months you lost your job. Because there's a lot of people in cloud, they lose their job and they reach out to me and they join the program because they cannot get a job.
Mhm.
Right now, people say like it's one of the hardest times to get a job in tech, and you know that may be true. do you feel like with the skill set that you learn, the skill set that I teach, do you feel like you can get another job? Do you feel like you have like m- like you can confidently get another six-figure remote position? Like kind of talk about that and then even let the current interviews like that's rolling in based on implementing the skill that I teach.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, um, just to kind of give a little context. So like when I first got into tech, it was iOS developer jobs everywhere. So like I've seen the market where I'm getting hit up every single day with offers of $80 an hour, $100, anywhere from 80 to $100 an hour. And then like the bubble burst. So I like the past 2 years has been pretty much dead. So, but when I looked at the cloud, I'm like, I'm seeing still, I think I looked on clearance jobs and it was like 16,000 jobs. So something crazy like that. And I looked on LinkedIn, it's like another 10, 15,000. Now, not all of them fit into what I'm looking for, but I'm like, if I needed to move to get a job, I could do that.
Mm.
Like, so there's opportunities everywhere. So, not saying that it's not hard to get those jobs, but honestly, with what you taught, what I've learned about the interview process and learning how to package it and show it as a story,
Mm.
you know, to get people more involved and even like learning where to crack a joke, you know what I'm saying, and here and there and stuff like that is, yeah, I can get a job easy. I can get a job easy. And I say that with confidence, like it's, yeah, with confidence, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And you feel like you have that security in terms of like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the one thing is like when people when like so like if anybody watching this that's like looking to get into tech and stuff like that, you have to learn that certain things within tech aren't needed and what is needed. So mobile app development. To be honest, having an app is a luxury. You don't necessarily need an app, but all apps are ran on infrastructure. So no matter what, you're going to always need cloud engineers, infrastructure. You're going to always need to deploy that code. So that's DevOps. So it's like with no matter technology is moving faster than it's ever been. So that's going to be more companies that's going to need more cloud engineers, and they can't just have one person. They're going to need a team. They're going to need 4 or 5 people. So if we look at the rate of everything going on right now, like there's always going to be a job for you. There's always going to be a job for you. You just got to know how to talk.
yeah,
That's it.
you feel like kind of help.
Um,
Now, I was going to say you feel like we've helped you with that aspect because I'm joined like three boot camps. Like, there's a lot of boot camps that's like literally they'll just give you the projects, information, and then they'll tell you apply for jobs.
yeah.
Nothing in terms of like how to get interviews, how to get them come to you. Nothing in terms of like interview prep, like how to be able to articulate your technical experience. Um,
Right.
do you feel like we've kind of like we do a good job,
Yeah.
A to Z, like from where you are, like know nothing to offer letter, like step.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you mapped it out, and I follow the blueprint. That's literally it. It's all in the course. You know what I mean? So like, if anybody going through it, don't just take your time. Don't move too fast, and you're gonna get it because everything is literally there.
So
Everything.
you feel like if someone was like, has a little doubt or fear, like they're about to invest, and they're just like, okay, this is not going to work for me. Do you feel like if someone is serious and committed, because to be honest, I only accept people like that, but because that's how you're going to get the results. But if someone is serious and committed and follow these step-by-step blueprint, do you really truly believe that they can achieve success, remote cloud engineer, six-figure position?
Yeah, definitely. Lightly. Yeah. Re- just like I said, how you break it down, it's simple. Like you can break it down in a simple way. The projects are simple. How to leverage AI to learn things and how to even like use that for prep, use that as kind of like a more of an assistant versus a crutch.
Mhm.
And, man, the community is great. The calls with Felipe weekly. That's one of the things that made my foundation a lot stronger because it's like, okay, sometimes you got to hear it 4 or 5 times, and see it actually in emotion a lot of times. So once I went in those calls, like, I think I was in Felipe's calls for maybe like ever since I started. So like maybe 4 months, but after month 2, once it went around for another iteration, it's like, okay, that's stuck. And I'm like, okay, those calls help. Those
Mhm.
calls help. Like it's just the extra knowledge, you know what I mean? Then also being able to ask questions to get the clarifying things. Because sometimes, you know, when you watch videos, you might have those questions, but being able to ask Felipe those questions, who's also great at what he's doing. And, you know, everybody that I've seen join Felipe's calls, you can hear the confidence growing in their calls. And then you know, questions and responses and stuff like that. So of course, like anybody looking to invest the money is always gonna feel a little nerve wracking and stuff like that. But, you know, my mentality is this: if something existed 100 years ago, which technology has always existed, it's gonna always be that. You know, so like, yeah, things may shift, but technology is technology. We're not like AI is everywhere. Like, you know, it's like either this, you can wish it, you can say no and come back later, and then this whole thing might change.
Mhm.
So it's like you might as well start right now, you know, and get to this money. Get to the money. These companies are trying to give away their money.
Yeah,
They trying to give it away.
literally. Okay. And so, if someone is on the fence about joining the 1% University and working with me and my team, what would you tell them?
I say just do it. And also figure out why you're feeling that nervousness, you know, and then go do some research, ask some questions after you do your research to see where, like, what is it looking like? Because, like I said, it's definitely nervousness when you're trying to start something new. You know, there's a little bit fear to it, but, you know, the stats prove that this ain't going nowhere. I know a lot of people are trying to use fear mongering with AI, but it's like, even if AI does take over, guess what's going, like, they still gonna need the infrastructure to run on. You
Mhm.
know, so like, really, just ask. I would say have a list of questions to ask y'all, and I it worked out for me. It's worked out for others. So honestly, I say join.
What would you go ahead?
I just say join. It's yeah. I don't know. I've been in tech for a while, so like I know I've been in it. So it's like I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a little bit different for me. But if anybody, but you're gonna have to take that first step where you can stay where you at right now, be broke, because that's all you're doing is being broke, you know what I mean? But like, it ain't nowhere to go from where you are. Like, you know, there's only where to go is up.
Mhm.
I'll come get you a 6-figure job and change your life.
Yeah, I laugh because when you was like, stay broke, I was literally, broke. I was afraid to invest. I mean, realistically, I was just afraid to fail. I was like, what if I invest and it does not work? Honestly, that is what happened. I invested into different programs. It sucked. I tried to ask questions, no respond. It was trash. But I kept on going because I knew it was going to work out. But I wanted to ask for anybody who's on the fence or anybody that's like, you know, what if I invest and it doesn't work out? Knowing what you know now, like, what would you say is the main reason or only reason, or even multiple reasons why someone would invest and it doesn't work out for them?
Honestly, it'll be on them. It'll be on them. You have a team, the community is active. The community is active. It's not just, you know, you responding to things, not just Felipe. It's like all the other students responding to things when people have questions to try to help them out. So like everybody is involved in wanting to see everybody win. So it's a supportive group. So with thinking in that perspective, it's not all like on you, Tayo. You know what I'm saying? It ain't all on you. So it's like you created the community, you created the infrastructure for
Hmm.
all of us to, you know, help each other. So, you know, if you're on the fence, you know, I don't really know what else to say. Honestly, like I'm not really like one of the people that's like trying to, yeah, I'm honest, but like, man, get this money. There's a lot of money in tech. It's
Yeah.
$1 trillion companies out here. What do you think they don't want to give you 100,000? That's only a lot of money to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we can do a lot with it. But man, these companies is really just looking for talented people that are good people that know how to talk,
Mhm.
know what they know, and always open to learn something new. So if you go into your program with that mindset, ask questions, ask a lot of questions, ask a lot of questions. Even if they sound dumb to you,
Mhm.
ask them. They're gonna, you're gonna get that knowledge, and it's gonna just keep rehearsing it. And next thing you know, you're gonna get you a job and buy that house, buy that car. And that's a great feeling.
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah. Okay. You can share this if you want, but like final question is, where can people find you online? LinkedIn, Instagram, if they want to connect with you. It's up to you if you want to share that.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Up there. I'm good because I'm good because I don't. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm trying to have my social media presence be.
Okay.
So with LinkedIn, I just try to keep everything professional and stuff like that.
Yep.
But
Or what would you let's so you can give like a 1% gem. What's something that you would want to leave to people that's watching this? Something that can impact, something that like just a 1% gem.
yeah, I would say read more books about mindset. That's literally I'll say that. Good book. A good book that I've read was The Alchemist.
Mm,
It was a great book full of a lot of gems. It was like double, triple entendres, but that'll be something that I feel will help people because it talks more about not the destination, but the journey.
mm,
A lot of people just need their minds focused on the getting to a place where it's like, nah, the journey is actually more fun than the play getting there.
mhm.
So, yeah, I say read The Alchemist, read more books, and change your mindset because it all starts in between your ears. So,
Cool. Cool. Okay. Um, Thank you for your time. Honestly, this has been a really, really good session. I don't know anybody listening to this, like, if you didn't really pay attention, maybe you did, but Cleo definitely dropped some gems, even when he was talking about LinkedIn earlier. You should take notes and kind of apply it. But like when he was talking about actually doing projects, posting on LinkedIn, and then now when he gets on the interview, it's just like I've already done it, and so it's just kind of easier for me. Like that's actually a very smart way to leverage interviews. So it's like you've already positioned yourself as an expert instead of them trying to question if if you're verifiable. You've clearly verified yourself already. So now he said some gems. So definitely, I would even take notes on this call. But I really appreciate your time, and yeah, we still have some more work to do in terms of creating wealth junior year and like always, bro, we'll guide you every step of the way. So really happy for you, and let's continue to work. Let's continue to push the needle forward.
I got one more thing. So, like for the people that are in the program, when you're going through the tech challenges, and you probably going through it your second and third time, I say run it through ChatGPT to see how can you improve it.
Mm,
And that way you can start getting like principal level, staff level type of thinking where you're now that's how I ended up learning about like observability, Prometheus and Grafana, just by asking like what's one way I can make it a little bit better. And then just keep adding on and adding on and adding on and yeah, next thing you know, job interviews will really be easy. So
yeah, that's crazy you said that. That's crazy you said that because we're actually about to not actually, but this is something we've been kind of uh taking notes and planning for a while, but just revamping like even the whole program. But Prometheus for Fauna, the monitoring aspect of cloud engineer. Um,
yeah.
It's crazy that you said that because on the tech, like what you said was spot on, and I'm glad you actually took, you were proactive of like making it better, which is going to enhance your skill set and make you more marketable in the marketplace. But no, that's that's crazy.
You got a great program, man. It's helped a lot of people, helped me, so I know it's gonna keep growing.
Yes, sir. We got a lot more people to impact, man. So it's one person at a time. I appreciate your time once again, and then and we do have the coaching call today in like 15 minutes, but continue to reach out. Let's make sure you get junior year like packed down because that's super important. Now that you're making a good amount of money, we want to be able to use your money to make money for you. So essentially, your money will work harder than you, and so that way there'll be a time where you can kick back, and now you get your time back and you use your time on things that really matter, like family, traveling, things that you're passionate about, and so actually live life on your own terms. So, step by step, and yeah, we're here to serve you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right.